All right, I can't record to save my life. Don't know what it is, but we'll go through Raw results and go through ours. So the big thing here is Undertaker versus Barry Windham, aka the Stalker. Really good match. And then let's go into ours. So we had Hogan and Savage kind of combat one another, kind of set that up. Now, if you remember, Hogan was to be in the title shot, but then the WWE executives taken him away. So Randy Savage is now kind of accepting it too. So we got to, get a way to get the NWO title shots. Jerry Lynn and Rey Mysterio defeat the Ultimate Dragon and Kurosawa. Um, just to get kind of wrap up that story, Ultimate Dragon, Jerry Lynn, Rey Mysterio. Dungeon and Doom, not impressed with Rey Mysterio, kind of getting over the rest of the roster's reaction to these cruiserweights, where it's like smaller guys, where, the Dungeon and Doom especially are just giants, no pun intended. And then you can see he's no longer in the Dungeon and Doom. But yeah, it's to really just get over the cruiserweights. We're going to use that as a vehicle to get some of the cruiserweights over and someone else. We have the Guerreros defeating Rough and Ready in a pretty good matchup. Guerreros did not have a great chemistry together. I was surprised with that. Sting and Luger are fighting for WCW, of course. Nasty Boys kind of aligned themselves with NWO, but not officially. Basically, just a way to kind of get the Nasty Boys on the heel side of things. And that also gives the Steiner something to do. The American Males defeat the Rock and Roll Express. Then DDP defeats Alex Wright. Kind of some follow-up stuff from the previous episode of DDP and Diamond Cutter and Alex Wright. American Meals or Meals. It's Thanksgiving Day, so of course I'm talking about meals. American Males we're getting them over as like a young hot babyface act. Marcus Bagwell, Buff Bagwell is a guy that might be able to develop into us, and I think there's a character there. Uh, the Outsiders celebrate their victory over the Sting and Luger, and they wrestle next week. Kind of like, announce that ahead of time. Where tonight's main event is Ric Flair and Sting for the U.S. title. Like that was like not announced in kayfabe, but to announce next week, okay, the Outsiders in the main event, it's a pretty big deal. Luger defeats David Taylor, but then gets attacked by Steven Regal. So Regal TV title is actually the guy in real life who defeat Lex Luger. Am I going to go that way or am I not? We'll see. We have the Steiners kind of call their shot, stating they're going to be the first to humble the NWO. So it's going to be the Steiners versus the Outsiders next week in the main event. Look forward to that. We have Ric Flair cutting a promo where, he and Sting have been fighting for a decade now. And tonight's the night where they fight over the soul of WCW. And of course, that ends in no contest when the Giant comes out in the ring, who lost for the first time clean, versus Randy Savage. So the Giant betrays the Dungeon Doom, betrays WCW, now is joining the NWO. It makes sense for me where the first time I think he suffered a pinfall loss would be Hog Wild instead of Hulk Hogan's Randy Savage. And it's a way to transition him from the Dungeon of Doom, which, it's kind of limiting, to the NWO, where we're going to have him with Hall, Nash, Hogan. So as a character, he's so much better off. And then the NWO creates now the Giant. People are joining the NWO from WCW. Tell me how many members you think should be in NWO. Give me that number. And this did turn the Four Horsemen face, so let's kind of take care of something here. The Dungeon of Doom. No more the Giant. Why go through and do this? I kind of looked at like the foreseeable future, like booking wise. Tell me who you think should be some mid card heels, and if you have any character ideas. The big one is Chris Jericho. And he's gonna be a member, not the muscle. All right, that's pretty cool. I love this picture background of like the different logos and stuff. But yeah, I was thinking about different heels just to go forward in the next like a couple years of like WCW. The big one for me is gonna be Chris Jericho, Raven as well. Which funny those two are top. But like, how would you use Don Callis? How would you use JC Ice? I'm not familiar with his stuff too much. I have to look him up. But how would you bring in Chris Jericho in WCW? In real life, he got brought in as a babyface, immediately had some sort of feud with Nick Patrick, who was the NWO referee. We stayed away from that So how would you bring in Chris Jericho as a heel, or would you bring him as a babyface? Let me know what you think, and let me know how many members do you think should be in the NWO. I have I have plans. We'll leave it at that of the NWO. Curtis Hall has one more appearance. We're probably gonna finish that off rest of it after. Let's see. I mean, in ring wise, pretty solid. The Furusio, Purosio, I can't say that word. Wow. Doesn't really work in regards to our product type. But no, so we have Randy Savage. You know, Miss Elizabeth is there. He doesn't get along with Hogan now. We have Nasty Boys ready to turn heel. Ted DiBiase is yet to debut as the NWO's Money Man. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Next week, and then yeah, we beat WWF. Our show rating was 91. Theirs was 74. We'll take the victory, even though their main event again was better than ours. So maybe we keep track of that because they have two main events better than us, but we have overall cards where I don't think I'm abusing like my over people. It's just I'm putting my over people in angles to create a better show. So you can see here, start hot, matchup. Sometimes we'll go matchup, then start hot. You know, tag team action, character, tag team, character, TV title, main event. Like it's a pretty good formulaic approach that we'll have at things. But let me know some mid card heels, obviously like Disco Inferno. Maybe Alex Wright, we can develop that. DDP, because I don't know if he's gonna be a what is it, 5 time? No, that's Booker T. Wait, no, DDP is how many time? All right, we're looking at DDP's Wikipedia. He has that trademarked. Let's see, 3 time WCW World Champion, 1 time WF European Champion. I didn't know he won the tag titles with Canyon. We do have Canyon on the roster. I was thinking of him and Billy Kidman as kind of job guys, and then kind of developed. Still young, still very young. But yeah, give me some ideas of mid card heels. How would you use Don Callis? How would you use Jericho? How would you use Raven? Like, you know, JCI Supernova being like the superhero wannabe. I think there's potential in that. But the big one is I'm like debating Chris Jericho because I want to bring him in relatively sooner or later. Um, yeah, sorry for the recording, Aaron. We had to kind of go through it this way. And yeah, let me know of how you bring in Jericho, and let me know how many NWO members you want, and I'll talk to you next time.